All right, y'all. Slack you for that. But I want to say first and foremost, I want to say call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praise to the Most High God. In the name of His only begotten Son of the world, ignorantly called Jesus Christ, man. And tonight, like I'll just say it like this, right? Y'all see the title? It's called "Let's Talk," right? I already had a whole lesson wrote up about Snoop Dogg and them selling them souls, selling out, the stuff going on in Russia. But with all the stuff that's going on with me, man, I think it'd just be better for me to just go into something else. Like I don't even really got a whole lesson written out, bro. That's why I said like, I wanted to make this thing called Let's Talk, because y'all can even help me with precepts. I'm going through some stuff. Let's just say it like that. I'm going through quite a bit of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that's transpired in the last 48 hours has just been heavy, like heavy and crazy. Shalom, Joshua. It's just been heavy and crazy, and it's just definitely a faith tester, right? And this is one of those things where like you really got to just lean on the scriptures and hold on to it and hold fast to it, man. Oh wait, before I forget, I must need to show y'all this, man. Look what I got, right? And it's not even just for me; it's for everybody who follows Sicarii Dallas. Look at this, right? Let me go to Spotify real fast. Look at this. Look what I got. Sicarii Dallas is now on Spotify. So we got Spotify videos. I got not really videos, but it's podcasts rather. I'm gonna put some of our best debates on there, some of our older debates, and I'm gonna do some stuff specifically for Spotify, like to actually build up viewers on here and do things like that. If y'all got Spotify, go ahead and follow us, because I'm gonna put more stuff on there continuously. Like I just dropped another episode on there today, and I'm just gonna try to build up this platform as well, and my Instagram as well for Sicarii Dallas, and the Facebook. Like all the three things you see on our new layout right here. Well, I mean, I can't really change it, but all the things you see on our new layout right here, like with the Facebook and the Instagram and the Spotify tag, right? I'm gonna start building up those things, and yeah, man. Follow us, give us 5 stars, man, or give us 1. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still gonna keep building it up, but yeah, like I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, a lot of stuff that's like just faith testing, and I know I'm gonna be all right because I have the Lord. And it's like it's one of those things where like you really got to start leaning on the scriptures, because this is what I got going on, a straight perfect storm. That's the only way to explain it. But the only thing that I have to lean on, right, is the scriptures. Let me get this. Whoa. I want that to KJ. Yeah, look at this. This is Isaiah 33, verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure," right? So the only thing that's going to keep us stable, walking this walk, just life in general, the only thing that's going to keep us stable is this wisdom and knowledge. What's our wisdom and knowledge? The stuff that comes in. Matter of fact, this man. See my worn out Bible has seen a lot of days, right? This is our wisdom and knowledge. And this is the only thing that's keeping me stable right now. I'll just say it like that, right? And honestly, right, this is it's kind of a I'm glad I'm talking about this, because it's one of those things where it's like this is how Israel should look at this when we go through things, because it's really easy to, when as soon as stuff are happening, or like how the Bible talks about tribulations, things that happen, right? It's real easy to forget the scriptures, right? It's real easy to start getting lukewarm on your faith. It's real easy to start breaking your consistency up due to the things that are happening to you, right? What did Joshua say? Let me see. Yeah, y'all add precepts too. I'll go into those too, because I only wrote down like 5, 6 precepts, right? Because I had a whole lesson, just threw it away, bro. Change title, change everything. What did Joshua say? Joshua, oh, he even quotes his book of his name. It says Joshua 1:9 is, have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. That's right. The Lord is with us as long as we be with him, as long as we continue to be, practicing Israelites and never lose our consistency. And I said that twice for a reason, because one of the precepts I'm going to go into, right? Because even today, like with all the stuff that's going on in the world, all the stuff I got going on in my house, and all the stuff that's just happening, bro. There's something just the way life is and the way things are just happening to the world and me, and it's just like damn, bro. I gotta just like forget all this other stuff, bro. Let's just talk. Let's just talk to the people, man. Y'all can drop precepts, it's fine. Whatever y'all drop, I'll read, right? As long as it's on topic, right? What is that take? I had a question about ZZs. Can they be? What is it? Can they be? Can they be cotton? Can I clip them on my belt? Can you have a blue string longer than the rest? I mean, there's no law specifically on as far as like the length of the string or what material it has to specifically be in, right? As long as you're keeping this. Let me do this, right? Let's just go to the law. Deuteronomy 22, verse 12. It says, thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. So as long as your zizis or fringes in this context satisfy these requirements, you're keeping the law. That's the best way I can answer that. Right? It says, let's see. Why don't the Latinos fit the curses? Come on, man. Like, I'm not even in the mood for Negro only shenanigans. To say the Latinos don't fit the curses. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about it, because I'm not in the mood for Negro only shenanigans. To say Hispanics don't fit the curses, you can't be living in Texas first and foremost, or go to Houston, but you have to literally just have your eyes closed, bro. Like, they had their children ripped away from them. They got separated from their parents. All these things. They had a nation come from afar to put them into captivity, right? Those same Latinos, or you could say Hispanics or whatever, or what you would call Native Americans, didn't they had their food source violently ripped away from them? That's a curse. You don't see Negroes over here fitting that. Your king going into captivity. You don't see Negro. When did that happen to you, Judites over here in America? That's a question I would ask. And what did that say? I think Mexican. I say, what did Azteca say? I think the Mexican fit the curses the most. And guess what? They do, bro. They do. They and I'll say this wholeheartedly. They do. They fit the curse way more than us. Especially like when you got to go to you got to go to Deuteronomy, where in Deuteronomy 28, where it talks about your king going into captivity. What about Montezuma? Their king went into captivity, about them and their walls being besieged. Show me that happened to you Negroes over here in America. I'll wait. It's just like, bro, like I'm not even in the mood. But back to what I was saying, right? Back to what I was saying. Like, wisdom and knowledge would be the stability of our time. This is the only thing that we have to hold on to. Is being blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans over here in Babylon the Great, right? Because if we don't have this, if we don't have these scriptures, if they don't apply to us, bro, do you know how worthless our lives would be? Our lives would be worthless. They already counted as worthlessness now, but like, just imagine if we weren't these people, bro. That's what I have paid. That's why I have patience in the through the tribulations that I go through, right? Because since the Lord, through out of fear, God, keeping a $2 driver alive, man. But like, this is why I have patience throughout all the stuff that I have to go through, right? Because I have the scriptures. I have examples of people going through things. I have people going through high stress situations, higher stress than mine and worse than mine, right? Worse than mine. So since I read the scriptures, since I know a little bit of something, I have patience. I'm going to have patience through the tribulations that I'm going through, especially the ones I am going through currently, right? Let me get this in Romans 15:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." That hope is going into faith. It's synonymous, right? This is why I have patience through the things that I go through. This is why I have comfort in the things that I go through. Because, like, especially with what I'm going through now, if I didn't have the scriptures, I would be going nuts right now, right? I'm just gonna say I would be going through nuts. I'd be going nuts right now, bro. But since I have the scriptures, I can hold on. I can hold on a lot longer than a lot of these people out here in the world, man. Because life is hard. I'll just say it like that, bro. Life is hard. It's not easy, and it's not some kind of cakewalk, man. And if it is for you, man, you got to really question if you're an Israelite or not, because the Lord chastens whom He loves, and who does He love? The Israelites. He even said, "Only I had a delight in thy fathers." Let me get that. Let me see. I know that's in Samuel. Let me see. Fathers. Right. Like not father. I think it was Samuel. There's Kings. I'm gonna have to Google it. Shoot, I'll find it. Because that's not even the point I really wanted to make off of that. But if you're having a cakewalk in life right now, especially being a black and Hispanic in in Babylon the Great, you really have to sit there and think like, dang, bro, I might be a tear. Because the Lord chastens whom He loves, and He only has a delight in us Israelites. So He's going to chasten us. We can't escape these curses, man. Wherever you go, whether it be Babylon the Great, whether you try to flee, you're on this flee doctrine and then move to another continent, another side of the world, these curses are going to overtake you, man. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Until we get saved and until Christ comes back, until everything's put back in order, we're always going to be under these curses, right? And that's something that I realize, knowing the scriptures. I realize that. So it's like what did this dude say? He said, why isn't that doctrine in Latin America, right? You know what? Hey, guess what? It is in Latin America, right? It is in Latin America. There's various camps in Latin America, right? But you know who isn't in this chat? You any longer, man. Right. But knowing these curses, back to what I was saying, knowing these curses and knowing that there's nothing we can do besides us keeping the commandments to where Christ comes and He saves us from this place, we're going to be up under these curses and things are going to happen unto us, man. We're going to run out of resources. Let's go into some of the curses. Right. Let's go into some of the curses. Let's see. Look at this one. I was thinking about this one the other day. Deuteronomy 28 verse 17. It says, Curse shall be thy basket and thy store. Now, I've seen a lot of Israelites break that down as this is why we can't have any type of commerce, or our businesses are always going to fail. But it has nothing to do with your business. This is talking about your storehouses where you keep your food and your resources that you have. So it should be, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. That's why it's hard for us. That's why it's hard for us to keep food on the table. That's why it's hard for us to continuously have an abundance of things, abundance of food, abundance of resources. It's hard for us to do that. Why? Because we're under these curses. There's nothing we can do about it, right? And that's something that I have to ingrain in my head, right? Because and knowing that when things start happening to me and to my people, I realize why it's happening. I know how to change it. And what changes it is doing things like this, teaching people the scriptures, going out on the streets and teaching, right? And that's why I have no respect for people who hate on camps, because it's like, y'all hate on camps, but y'all literally do nothing. You'll be on Facebook, be on Twitter, talk about how wicked camps are, but what are you doing? Where are your teaching videos? Who are the people you converted? Because as as long as we stay here in Babylon the Great, being less than proselytes, being just straight full on Gentiles, I'm talking about Israelites, being full on Gentiles, these curses remain. That's why I don't have any respect for people who hate on camps. Like it really just makes me mad, bro. It's like, I just be like, bro, you are the problem. You literally are the problem, right? You literally are the problem. But let me go into this. Let me keep going. Right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And we see this with our people, bro. You go to late at nighttime, go to around a liquor store. Look what kind of people you see outside of that liquor store. You see Israelites laying down, drunk, messed up. You can't even have a fruitful conversation with them because they're so bugged out. Why? Because of the curses. Why the curses? Because we continue to sin. We don't continue to put the work in like we need to get brought up out of this place. We don't look upon the blessing and the cursing and then return into the Lord, like how it says in Deuteronomy 30. We see these things. We see all these curses happening to us, bro. And you can read this out. You can read this out to somebody out there on the streets. They'll get it and will not care, bro. Will not care. And you have to think like, bro, you are the problem. Every one of y'all hearing this word and not taking heed to it is the problem. And like the longer we continue to do that, the longer tribulations continue to happen to us. I think about that. Since I know why things are happening to me, I realize why they happen to me, and it just makes me like, dang, bro, I have to continue to teach. Like I was in the mood that bro, I don't even feel like teaching today, but I got to do it anyway because if I don't teach this word, if I sit at the house and be inconsistent, right, I affect my integrity towards the Lord. I compromise the integrity. I compromise the integrity that I have with the Lord, my relationship with the Lord. I compromise that integrity because the heat got turned on a little bit. Let me get this precept. Right, because I was sitting on the I said I only wrote down about 5 or 6 precepts. This is one of them, right? And I needed. And we're gonna come back to Deuteronomy 28 maybe later. I'll keep that open. Let me get Jeremiah 17, 5. I brought this up in my what was it? My flourishing in the truth lesson that I did. Ever since I found this precept, I've always kind of tried to hold on to it because it's like it's so powerful, bro. Like the KJV does not render this verse the way it needs to. Like the NLT, I love the NLT. The NLT gives you a perfect rendition of this verse, right? Look at this. I'm going to start at verse 7. It really starts at 6, but I'm going to start at 7 from the point. It says, but blessed are those who trust in the Lord. Trusting in the Lord is faith. Even going back to the word faith in the Hebrew goes back into trusting and having allegiance to, right? Watch this. It said, but blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. Just like in the situation I'm in now, I have hope that the Lord, and hope synonymous faith. I have hope and faith that the Lord's going to save me out of this situation, right? We're going to go into save. We're going to go into what the definition for saved is later because there's some in there that people don't touch on, right? And it talks about confidence, right? I'm confident that the Lord's going to save me out of this situation. I'm confident that he's going to hear my prayers. I'm confident and have hope in these things. Why? Because I trust in him. I pledge my allegiance to him and I'm not, Lord willing, I'm not going to compromise my integrity just because the heat got turned on. Right. And I said that for this reason. Let's go to verse 8. It says, they are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat. Let me say that again. Such trees are not bothered by the heat. Why? because these trees are similitudes to people who trust in the Lord. So they're not going to be bothered by the heat. What's that heat? That furnace of affliction. Those tribulations you go through, those trials you go through, those things that test your integrity to the Lord, right? Let's see. It says stay in consistent prayer, brothers and sisters. That too, right? AE. Stay in constant prayer, brothers and sisters. That's something we need to do. That's something I need to do a little bit more, right? We need to stay in constant prayer. Let me get one precept and then I'll come back. I think that's 1 Thessalonians 5, I believe. This right here is a real short verse. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 17. Pray without ceasing. What is ceasing? Ceasing means to stop. Don't stop praying. And I feel that one now. Don't stop praying, bro, because things happen and you really want the Lord to be on your side. Because what does Scripture talk about? The effectual prayer, the prayer of a righteous man. What is that precept? Let me see. Let me get that precept. Prayer, righteous man. That's the one I want. What is that? Yeah, James 5 and 16, right? And I don't care if y'all see me Googling scriptures, man. I don't know everything. It's James 5 and 16. It says the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So if you believe in these scriptures, you're keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. The scriptures say it shall be our righteousness to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, to keep these commands, all right? And if you do that, the Lord hears your prayers, because the Lord doesn't hear the prayers of sinners. Contrary to popular belief in Christianity, the Lord doesn't hear the prayers of sinners, right? This is John 9 verse 31. It says, now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth, right? So this effectual prayer of a righteous man, the Lord hears. And that's why it says it availeth much. That's why we can't stop praying. Because the Lord will consistently bring you out of situations. He's not going to put you in a situation that you can't get out of. He's always made a way of escape. Whether or not he just the next day something changed, or he has to move mountains for you if you have that faith. That's the type of God we serve, man. And that's what I said before about like in Romans. Let me go back to that. All right. Because it's really when I teach y'all, I really be teaching myself at the same time. It's Romans 15, verse 4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Since knowing all those things, bro, I can stay steadfast in this. I can stay steadfast without moving on emotion. That's what the scriptures are talking about in Sicarii 2, about moving in haste. That's moving off your emotions. And that's led a lot of people astray. Into making even worse decisions, compounding your bad decisions that you've already made that put you in that position. Instead of having faith in the Lord, allowing him to bring you out of that situation and allow him to put his spirit upon you to navigate yourself through that situation. Let me go back to where I was at. Right. This is Jeremiah 17, verse 8 in the NLT. It says, they are like trees planted along the riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat, right? They're not bothered by the heat. Why? Why? Because they're planted near deep waters. Watch this. Such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. Long months of drought. That's a long period of time of affliction, which could very well happen to all of us. Some of us just go through afflictions for maybe a week, maybe a month, but some people it could be months, maybe years of affliction, right? But we cannot be bothered by it if we trust in the Lord. We can't be bothered by that. We have to continue steadfast and first and foremost keeping the commandments and doing the most we can for our nation. Because when we do that, the faster we do that, the faster we get more people on board doing that, the faster we can get these blessings, bro. Because all these afflictions that we go through are straight results of the curses. Every single one of them. Just think about every single thing you're going through is a direct result of the curses. So that should make you push even harder. But look at this. Let me read this again. It says they're not worried about long months of drought. Their leaves stay green, and they never stop producing fruit. They never stop producing fruit. They maintain their integrity. They maintain their consistency. That's something I needed to hear today. That's something somebody else needed to hear today, right? Because everything happens for a reason, right? Just even me going through what I'm going through, set it up for people to hear these specific precepts. Because what I'm teaching now is vastly different than what I was about to teach yesterday or the day before that. Like I had a whole lesson just in the trash. It's in the trash. We're going off the spirit, man. It's in the trash. Now, let me get this. 1 Corinthians 10. Y'all go ahead and drop precepts too, man. I see there's 46 people in here. Y'all can somebody got some precepts. somebody got some precepts in here, man. We got a book. We got this book, this Biblios, this Bible with 80 books in it, man. I know y'all got precepts. It says, this is 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. It says, the temptations in your... Wait. Well, I wanted a KJV. Let's see what the NLT says. It says, the temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. Right? Because somebody in this world is going through the same thing you're going through. Why? Because we're all going through the curses together as a nation. It's saying God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than what you can stand. So whatever you're going through, the Lord has a way for you to get out of it. It says when you are tempted, He will show you a way out so that you can endure. The Lord will show you a way out so you can endure. Now let me get this in the KJV because there's something I wanted to highlight. Right? Let's look at this. Look at this word for temptation. It's like it's used for what is that? Pyramos. I'm not even gonna worry about trying to say that Greek word. It says it means like an experiment, attempt, trial, proving. Like your faith, proving. It's your faith is being proved, being tried, right? Look at this. This is the part I wanted to highlight as well. B, where it says the trial of a man's fidelity, his faithfulness, his trueness, integrity, virtue, and consistency. Consistency. It's a trial of your consistency. It's real easy to serve the Lord when everything's going right for you. But are you going to do it when the heat gets turned on, though? Are you going to keep producing that fruit, though, when the heat gets turned on? Are you going to continue to be consistent and doing what you were doing before the heat got turned on when the heat gets turned on? That's what these temptations are. These temptations try that. That's what this is, bro. This is the type of God we serve. Once you get past one up, here comes another one. If the Lord's dealing with you. What is this? What is repentance camp? Repentance camp. Sirach 11:22. Let me see what that says. All right. It really wants me to read the CEB. I read the KJV first. I guess that's it right there. It says, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree. Oh yeah, I like that one. That's a great one. I'm feeling that one. It says, wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree, and made him to sit among great men. Oh man. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. And I think that's the next verse. Right. That's a heavy one. Or matter of fact, is that what you wanted? No, I think that's just Sirach 11. Let me see. Dang, can I get the KJV? All right, let me get it now. This is Sirach 11, verse 22. It says, the blessing of the Lord is a reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. Oh, man, that's a good one, too. Suddenly he maketh his blessing to flourish. That can go with the, speak of the devil, that can go with, that could go straight with that lesson that I taught a few weeks ago about flourishing in the truth. It can happen instantly. Where's another scripture that talks about the Lord can suddenly make a man rich, right? But the thing is, let me get another precept real fast and make a point. 1 Samuel 2, verse 16. Y'all gonna forgive me. I'm all over the place today, but I'm all over the place today emotionally. Yeah, this is 1 Samuel 2, verse 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. All these things come from the Lord, man. And this is what I mean about this, about how scriptures, like how Paul wrote in Romans 15, about how the scriptures are written aforetime for our learning. Since after learning things like this and internalizing scriptures like this, I understand what's happening to me, man. I understand that, like, there's going to come a time where it's a paradigm shift. And I have to be patiently waiting for that. Because look at this. All right, because I'm going to pull this up because of a comment I just seen, right? I'm just saying, it says, we got next, beloved, right? Beloved. That's what my name means in Hebrew, beloved of the Lord. But look at this, right? This is Revelation 13, verse 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. Now, this is talking about specifically the Western powers, the Edomites, going into captivity. And when they go into captivity, the time period this takes place in is when the gospel is fully fulfilled and we're back in our land and we're ruling over these people. During that time, we're under the blessings. Our transgressions won't be remembered any longer. We're under the blessings, and there's a total paradigm shift. No longer will we have to, what do you say, that's taking patience of the saints. Exactly. Because this is what we're patiently waiting on. This is what I'm patiently waiting on, right? But it's going to be a total paradigm shift. No longer will we have to work ourselves to the bone just to have one damn day off, work ourselves to the bone just to have enough money to make ends meet, do all these things, bro. No longer will that be once we're ruling over our oppressors. Once life just changes for us entirely, bro. This is words of Mama Sicarii is like the Hebrew Avengers in a way, right? But what I want to say is like this. Let's go into that real fast. Right. Let's go into the gospel, which is just the fulfillment of the prophets. When we're allied to the Gentiles, when we're in our kingdom, and they all come to us, they're going to do this. All right. What is it, verse 10? The stranger shall minister unto thee. Yeah, Isaiah 60, verse 10. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. Right? Now, when they're ministering unto us, we won't have to be working. We won't have to be dealing with tribulation. We don't have to deal with. I said this at last camp. We don't have to worry about stopping having being careful at the amount of kids that we have, because we don't know how we're going to afford for ourselves and our family, for all these kids. We don't have to worry about things like that no more, because these other nations are going to minister unto us, right? This life is but a vapor, like it says in scriptures, just like how it says in the scriptures, right? All the tribulations we're going through is nothing. You can count this as nothing compared to how good the kingdom is going to be, right? This is what I have patience in. This is what I have my hope and my place my confidence in. And this is something that I have to internalize through the tribulations that I'm going through. And by God, am I going through it, right? But it says, "For in my wrath I smote thee." And what is the Lord's wrath, right? The Lord's wrath is Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, where we decided to break the terms for our agreement. We decided to start breaking these commandments. We didn't diligently hearken unto the Lord. So in his wrath, he smote us by what? Bringing down all the curses. And that's what we're living through now. All the tribulation we go through is a result of the curses. So in his wrath, he smote us, but in my favor, in his favor, since he preferred us over everybody, since he loves us over everybody, and I know it makes the Christians mad, right? The God that has a chosen people, right? Since he preferred us over everybody, he's going to have mercy on us. And what's comprised of that mercy? Taking our captors, who we was captive to, into captivity. And that's something we should be patiently waiting for, right? Now watch this. Verse 11, "Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their kings may be brought." It says they're going to bring unto us the forces of the Gentiles. Let's look at the word for forces in the Hebrew, right? Because we all have money problems. I know a lot of Israelites have money problems. By God, do I have a money problem, right? Let's look at this. They're going to bring the forces of the Gentiles. This is what they're going to bring unto us: strength, might, efficiency, wealth. Wealth. They're going to bring their wealth onto us. No longer will we have to worry about putting, just like our scripture say, putting money in a bag full of holes. No longer we have to worry about that, man. No longer will we have to worry about the stuff that's going on in your house, the issues in your family, you and your wives, you and your children. All these things, man, will be taken away from us, because these curses won't be on us any longer. The other nations will minister unto us. They'll bring their wealth unto us, the forces of the Gentiles, their strength, their ability, efficiency, their armor. All that's going to be brought and converted unto us. And that's something we're patiently waiting for. Knowing this keeps me stable through what I go through. Knowing that there's something bigger and brighter for us, man. And it's hard. It's hard to know, like, we don't know when it's going to happen, right? We don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know how many years how many years it's going to take for it to happen. We don't know any of those things, right? And that's the whole purpose of faith, because we can't see it. We can't see when it's going to happen. We don't got a timeline on it. Look at this. Hebrews 11, verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Now we can't see when our salvation is coming. We don't know, as far as what I mean by that, we don't have a specific date. Like on this date it's gonna happen. We don't know those things. But we have faith that it's going to happen due to reading the scriptures, looking at the prophecies, right? That gives validity to the scriptures. Because just like how you would deal with an atheist, right? Is the same way you would boost your faith. Now, say an atheist asks you, "Why do you believe in that book? It's just written this long time ago. What's the point of believing in that?" Well, inside of this book, it has prophecies that people still to this day, even scientists, I said this before, even scientists cannot understand. They cannot understand how these people got this information. Namely, Daniel chapter 7. Daniel talks about these 4 great kingdoms going to come out: Babylon, Persia, freaking Greece, and Rome. And even Christian scholars have the same, as far as those specific verses about them 4 beasts. Christian scholars have the same breakdown we have on that. So it's recognized by people, right? Because they don't want to recognize our breakdowns. But when the Edomites say it, they just take it and run with it, right? But the thing is, you have Christian scientists, you have actual regular scientists who don't know how they have this information. In Daniel 9, it talks about, in Daniel 9, it gives you literally a time period of when Yahweh Shai is going to come. And it was 400 years from Ezra's time. Guess what time period Ezra took place in? 400 BC. As things like that. Things like that you would combat an atheist about is the same things you would use to boost your faith and to give validity to the scriptures, right? Because even in the scriptures, you got to imagine the type of faith that the apostles and the prophets had back in those days, because they were prophesying. They were like neck deep in captivity, bro, and prophesying about things that wasn't even for their time period. Not all their things, but like you have things that they prophesied about that wasn't their time period. They were supposed to take place in our time period. Right? Let me show you something. I believe that's Peter's 1. And this goes into what I'm talking about anyway. I'm gonna start at, this is a great precept too. I'm gonna start at 6 and read down to, I'm gonna say 12. It's wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness. And I know what that means. Heaviness through manifold temptations. I also know what that means as well, right? We rejoice in these time periods. Because why? Because we know that we know they're happening for a reason. We know it's ultimately to try our faith, to make us come out better and stronger. Right? Watch this. Verse 7. It says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire. That's that heat that we were talking about in Jeremiah chapter 17. Like those trees that are not bothered by the heat and still keep producing fruit. That's your trial of your faith. It says, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach. What is that? Where it says, well done, my faithful son, man. My faithful servant. And isn't that what we're striving for in the first place? Isn't that the whole purpose of us coming into this truth? To be saved? And to have those words said unto us? Verse 8. It says, whom having not seen ye love, and whom thou... And just think about that, right? Think about the faith that we have just in general, bro. Whom having not seen ye love. We haven't seen Yahushua. We haven't physically seen him. None of us have seen him, right? But we still love him. Why? Due to our faith. And the listening to what he says, like he says in John, where he says, if you love me, keep my commandments. Since we love Christ, what do? We follow him and listen to what he says. He's the good shepherd. Keep his commandments. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. It says, though you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. Right? Receiving at the end of your faith. That's what we're patiently waiting for. Because not I don't say Christians, Hebrew Israelites always use Revelations 13:10. The Caucasian going into slavery, but I mean, you have to really think about it. It's a lot deeper than that. Because you have to think about what comes behind that, bro. The blessings. I'm more interested in the blessings, bro. I hate the curses. I hate being in the curses. I hate telling Israelites about the curses and them not caring about the curses that make us be in the curses even longer. I hate that with a passion, with a strong fervor, man. Right, I hate that with a passion. Now, looking back at Revelations 13, verse 10, and other scriptures that talk about the patience of the saints, right? I'm waiting for these blessings. I'm waiting for that crown. I'm waiting for that freaking land, that promised land that we have between the Nile and Euphrates, like it says in Genesis. I'm ready for all of that. So the ruling over the oppressor is a byproduct, right? And I'm saying that just like outright, bro. It's a byproduct of that. I want these promises. I want the promises of Abraham, and I seek a better country because this ain't it, bro. And our people saying this is and just worrying about the bag, bro. I don't know what to tell you. This you probably I don't know because this ain't it, right? I see y'all's preachers. I'm gonna get him in a second. Let me finish this out. It says of what this is the point I wanted to make earlier, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you. These prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, all of them, they prophesied about things in their time period, but they prophesied about things that's supposed to happen to us. What does that entail? Like the suffering servant, Israel being justified, all the seed of Israel being justified, right? Having that Messianic Davidic king to rule over us in the time of our salvation, when we dwell in safety. That wasn't in a time period. This is supposed to happen to us in the future. I want to dwell in safety. I want all the blessings to come unto us, and it pours out like it says in Ezekiel 34. Right? Let me do this. Let's read that. Let me see. Yeah, this right here in Ezekiel 34, verse 22. Therefore, I will save my flock, and there shall be no more prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle. Right? I'm tired of being a prey. What does that mean? The curses. Because as long as we're under the curses, we shall be the tail and they shall be the head. As long as they're the head, they're going to prey upon us. Who's are they? The other nations. Right? I'm tired of that. It says in verse 23, I will set up one shepherd over them, and they shall feed them, even my servant David. That's Christ. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, the Lord, will be their God, and my servant David, a prince among them. And I, the Lord, have spoken it. I will make with them a covenant of peace, right? And this is what I want. This is the blessings. This covenant of peace, when the Lord stops jacking us up, bro. When he stops I'm tired of being jacked up, bro. And I mean that. I meant that before my tribulation. And now I'm tired of being jacked up. I'm tired of seeing my people jacked up. I'm tired of this planet just in general, man. Tired of the rulers that be. I'm tired of my people being wicked. I'm tired of freaking Esau doing whatever the hell they feel like doing, saying whatever they want. I'm tired of all these things, man. I'm just tired. That's what this whole thing is. I'm just tired of. I'm tired of how life is currently, right? Currently. Now, look at this. I will make a covenant of peace and will cause the evil beast to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. Right? Now, what does that mean? It means the Lord's going to take away the heathen from us, take them out of our land. Right? We're going to dwell safely, and there's nothing they can do about it whatsoever. They're going to be gone. Why? And what I mean by gone is they're going to be gone in a way to where like they're going to be subject to us. They're going to serve us in captivity. We're going to have the blessings at this time, right? That's what's going on right here. Now, verse 26. This is what I want. This is what I want right here. It says, I will make them and the places round about my hill a blessing, and I will cause the shower to come down in its season. There shall be showers of blessing. I want that, man. I want them showers of blessings. I want these blessings because this sucks. Like I don't care. I don't care if you got a little bit of money. I don't care if you got a job that you're not subjected to Esau. I don't care about any of that, bro. At the end of the day, life sucks for the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans over here in America, and actually the whole world, because no matter where we go, the curses come upon us. But this sucks. All these things. So let me get this better country scripture. Let me see. Look at this, man. It's Hebrews 11, verse 16. But now they desire a better country that is heavenly. Wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared them a city. Right? That's talking about the new kingdom that we're gonna have. It's about New Jerusalem coming down. New Jerusalem is people, not literally a literal city coming down. It's us. It's us coming down into the promised land and having that better country and all those the promised land, having all the blessings, being an innumerable multitude, all these things, man. I that's what I'm striving for, man. Let me get some of these precepts. There's a 2K morning work. It says Proverbs 16 verse 8. This is better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. Exactly. Yes. Bring that out, bro. Bring that out. Right. And that's something that I hold on to. Literally. I think about this precept. Right. Because there's another one in Proverbs that goes right along with it. I believe it's in Proverbs 11, I think. It's either 11 or 12. But I know it goes right along with this one because I paired it up in a lesson before. But better is a little with righteousness. A little with righteousness. Right? That's the situation I'm in. Better is a little with righteousness. It's better than having all the wealth and riches that these celebrities have and all that, because that's their consolation prize. Right? What is that? Is that Luke? Let me see. What is that? Luke. That's Luke 6 and 24. Right. They got that consolation prize. It says, this is Luke 6 and verse 24. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. That's your prize, right? You want to be big bad in America, freaking put all the grills in your mouth, got all the cars, clothes, women, all these things you could ever want in Babylon the Great. That's your consolation. That's your prize. This is destruction unto them. So what's the inverse of that? Better is it with a little righteousness than great revenues without right. It's better for you to have just a little, and be and have the kingdom, have ability to take. Matter of fact, that remind me of Revelations 2. Was that 2 and 16? Look at this. This is what I want. Revelation 2 and 19. I know that works and charity and service of faith. Right? Wait, no, that's not what I want. How did I forget this precept? This one, yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. Revelation 2 verse 9 is, I know that works and tribulation and poverty. Right? The Lord knows our works and tribulations and poverty. He knows all these things. These are the people who are not trying to get revenues or revenues without right, or wicked in wicked means, like making music that you know is destructive to your people, just to make money off of it. And you see that happen with a lot of rappers, because like I like music, right? I listen to a lot of, I like rap music, like metal, like rock, I like indie rock, I like all various types of music. I play guitar, I do all these things, right? So I listen to music. I hear a lot of, they just fixate on rap for right now. You hear a lot of rappers come out with these EPs, a couple song tracks, and you'll notice how one song sticks out and one song gets all the views, right? That one song gets all the views, and that usually is the one that they're being the most destructive to their people. That's when you get the whipping out the work, whipping up magic in the kitchen, doing all those things, right? That are contrary and destructive to your people. That be the song that takes them over the top, gets them a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of fame, a little bit of views, a little bit of money, right? And our people will see that, know that what they're saying is destructive, know that's not even their real personality, know that they wouldn't push that on their family or their children, but they'll do it anyway for the bag. They'll do it anyway for the bag, bro. And that's kind of what I was going to go into about the Snoop Dogg thing, about and Kendrick Lamar, right? Because those are two people I know have bumped into Hebrew Israelites, got the breakdown to a degree, and still decide to go on the Super Bowl halftime show and then do a crip dance and dressed up and dress up in a full crip attire, throwing up the seed, right? Now, and the thing that I absolutely hate about that, one thing I absolutely hate about that is knowing about them, looking at their interviews, specifically Snoop right now. Snoop talks about oh, I changed from this. I don't want my kids growing up in gangs, doing the things that I used to do, being like just being abominable, bro. And then have the nerve, right? Because it's crazy. I saw that interview right before the halftime show. Then have the absolute nerve and gall to shuck and jive for the damn Edomites, bro. Put on your crib, your full crib attire, right? Took full advantage to throw up all the C's, right? Throw up, make yourself like the hardest crib ever, right? For national television, but behind closed doors in your interviews and the things you say, you propagate against that. But you'll do that for the bag, and that's fine. That's your consolation prize. That's your prize if you want to forsake your people. You want to forsake your God after knowing the truth and knowing and you admitting how destructive that music is to our people, how impressionable our people are, and you continue to do that just for the bag, bro. That's your consolation prize. I'd rather struggle the rest of my life than do that. I'm not going out like that, bro. And to see my people do that is just frustrating. Like you completely sold out. You've completely sold out your You really sold your soul, man. To be honest, because your soul is going into your desires, your mind, your entire essence. Let's look at this. Like there's a Greek word called psyche, right? I guess we are going back into that lesson now, since we didn't tangented our way all the way back there. Let me see. Mark 8. Right. 8 and 26. What is that? Oh, 8 and 36. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna go into the soul thing. Where do I want to start at? I started at 35. Mark 8 and 35. And it says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. And that's the opposite of what Snoop Dogg did. Right? That's the opposite of what Kendrick Lamar did. Kendrick Lamar, I'm 100%. I'm 100% sure that Kendrick Lamar knows a lot more than Snoop Dogg, right? And he fully shucked and jived, however you want to say the past tense version of that. Shucked and jive up there, and then changed his anti-police lyrics during his performance in the halftime show to not ruffle any feathers. Why? Because you want the bag. You've chosen your people and your God and the gospel over the bag. You are the people who go to City Trends and buy that shirt, money over everything. Because money has always been y'all's driving force in the world. It's not the Lord, right? It says verse 36, for what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? What did you profit? You spend your entire life shucking and jiving for these Edomites just to get all this wealth, just for it to be worth nothing, bro. Y'all see Venezuela, or you can Google it. The inflation for their dollar has gone up so high to where it's worth nothing. People are just throwing it out on the streets. People are burning it to stay warm. That's coming to America. You like when you go and you can see it happening. You see the famines happening, bro. Gasoline just jumped up in Texas, bro. And the gas stations are circling around my house. Gas was $3.09. Gas was $3.09. Now, when Biden had that speech that he had about how, what was it? I guess like the pseudo Cold War that they got going on right now. Right after he had that press conference about that, the very next day, now gas is $3.39. Now gas went up 30 cents. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And what does that mean? What happens? And that's like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. Just 30 more cents. No, you know what happens when gas goes up? When gas goes up, now the companies who drive these 18 wheelers to deliver your products, now they have to pay more in gas. And what happens? They pass all them savings on to you, man. Now stuff is going to get higher. Now things are going to cost a lot more. Not like it's like people are not noticing that. Like, are y'all not noticing that when you go to Walmart, like especially if you're an avid shopper at Walmart, you go to Walmart, stuff is out like all the time. Like every time I go to Walmart, any store now, there's always stuff out. There's always a shortage. There's always a shortage of workers, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since 2020. It's only progressively gotten worse. So you think these dollars are going to help you? You think all this money and wealth is going to help you? It's going to be worth nothing. That's your consolation prize. You're gonna spend all your money selling out, spend all your life selling out your people for $1, ultimately for it to be worth nothing, and you be brought down to the slums with the rest of us. Congratulations, like, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. Like this is coming very, very soon, bro. Even Biden's talking about it. When Biden's letting y'all know that it's about to happen, that it's already 20 times worse than you ever thought it would be. Right? It's matter of fact, let me do this. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's see. It was on CNN. I saw it on CNN. This one. I don't know if y'all can see it. Is it popping up? This one. Right? Watch this. Go watch this. Go watch this, man. Just watch these. Matter of fact, not only this, but look at all the rest of the press conferences Biden's been doing about Russia and their new Cold War. Just go watch those, bro. Like if you think the end is, if you think we're not inching to the end, you are nuts, bro. You're nuts. So if you want to sell out your soul for these riches, congratulations, bro. You're not, the only thing you're gonna reap behind that is death. Now look at this. It says, or what shall a man exchange for his soul? Let's look at that word soul. What is that? Psyche. That's where you get psychology from. It's psyche, breath of life. This is what I want. The soul, the seat of the feelings, desires, affections, aversions, our heart, right? Now, when you choose to go along with the game plan of the devil, right? And when I mean devil, I'm using that as a term for the Edomites. When you decide to go along with their game plan, their moral standard, the image of the beast, right? When you decide to go along with that, you're selling your soul and your desires, your psyche, for the bag. You're choosing mammon, the spirit of money, over the Lord. Yahweh said you can't serve two masters. You're going to cleave to one and hate the other, right? And Snoop Dogg and his constituents hate God. You're choosing mammon over the Lord. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me do this. God damn, 360 in Florida? Lord in Christ. Charles Prince said 30 cents is not a lot. Hey, man, you obviously don't live in Texas because things move here in cents. Things move here in cents. Let me see. Hold that real fast. Kind of slacky. I had to get that charger for this thing dies on me. But yeah, man, like this when you sell your soul, right? It's not really you signing a paper because people like to make it seem really Christians. They like to shit, Callie's at $5. Lord, why do you live there? Damn. But when you sell your psyche or your mind, rather, right? When you sell that, well, you sell that by going along with the image of the beast. It's not no piece of paper you sign or you're making a contract to the devil. You do this by going along with his plan, going along with the destruction of your people. Let's look at psyche. Let's see definitions, the human soul and spirit, synonyms, soul, spirit, inner self, innermost self, inner ego, true being. It's where you get psychology from, right? Your mind. There's no piece of paper. They're not signing no piece of paper to selling their soul over to Satan. You sell your soul over to Satan when you're conformed to the image of the beast, right? Your mother, your father, who's not in this truth, have sold their soul to the image of the beast. Everybody not continuing in the law, statutes, and commandments has their soul sold to the beast. And to its image, to its gold standard, right? And what am I talking about? That's Revelations 13, right? Contextually, I'm just going to say this, right? Contextually, in the beginning, this first beast is the revised Roman Empire, right? Now, he says he saw another beast coming up from the earth. This is talking about Babylon the Great. This is America, right? Now, let me see. What do I want? Image. Yeah, I'm just going to jump to 15. It said he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many that as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? Bracket that, fear God, for your continued support, right? Now, when this image right here in the Greek word is icon, right? It means gold standard or moral likeness of. Now, people who conform themselves to this image, conform themselves to carnality, antinomianism, Christianity and antinomianism, same thing, right? Lawlessness. To whatever America's on, these people are going to get put to death, bro. These people are going to die. These people are going to die a very horrid death. They're going to get, as a matter of fact, let's read about it. Let's read about it. Look at this. This is Revelation 14, verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead and in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Son." Right? So you conform yourselves to this image, this golden standard of America, Babylon, the great whore, like it talks about in Revelation. These people are going to get put to death. You're going to taste that fire, that brimstone. What is that fire and that brimstone? That fire and that brimstone is an ICBM missile is going to hit America. It's coming very soon, right? It's coming very soon. And that's something that I also have patience in. And I see it. I see all these things happening. I see the nukes happening. I see the nukes happening in the scripture. I know in Isaiah 9, verse 5, it's going to be a war. Matter of fact, let's get it. All right. Isaiah 9, verse 5 says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." What is that? That's them nukes. Every war has been waged. Every war that's been waged has always resulted in boots on the ground, right? always resulting in boots on the ground warfare, whether it be guns or whether it be swords. But this war is going to happen, this world war, this whoa, like it says in Revelations, is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. That's something I have patience in, right? I want nothing but for this place to be destroyed and to be delivered from this place, right? To be delivered from the tribulation, to be delivered from these trials, these curses, all these things die when this place dies, right? That's why it makes me so upset when people conform themselves to the image of this place, even after knowing the truth. You sacrifice and sold out your God and your people through your actions, through you selling out your psyche, which is your mind, your soul, all of that. Like, I cannot stand that, bro. It's like, damn, you were in a position so you had all the entire world's eyes on you. You could have put tassels on. You could have put some tassels on, or you could at least not dressed up like a Crip, threw all the C's up, and then made Crippin' cool again, or revitalized Crippin'. I mean, it really hasn't gone anywhere, but like, you could at least did that at the very least. But no, you gotta go ahead and know that the so-called white man requires a song out of you, and you gotta just go ahead and shuck and jive. That's what our people do, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, right? But look at this. Let me see. I had these links up here. Russian troops. Look at this. Look at this. This is an article from RT, right? It says Pentagon. Here's the headline: Pentagon reveals if U.S. troops will fight in Ukraine. Because if anybody's paying attention, I know Sicarii has been bringing it out fervently, right, about this new Cold War that we got with the Russians that's taking place over Ukraine. It says American servicemen will not fight in Ukraine if Russia decides to invade. Huh. So there won't be boots on the ground then. Huh. So that goes straight with Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. Right? Let's read some more of that. I think there's more on that. The Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said on Sunday, amid rising fears in Washington, that war is around the corner. So it's gonna be missiles, bro. It's like how Call of Duty. It ain't gonna be Call of Duty World at War, man. It's gonna be Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 3. Because this type of warfare is gonna be waged with nuclear bombs and missiles, bro. It's gonna get shot from the ends of the earth all the way to the other side. Let me get another precept on that. Oh, I gotta go into. Sorry. No, that's second Esdras. 16, verse 13. Look at this. Right, and this goes into faith boosters. Right, it's second Ezra 16, verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows they shooteth are sharp." What does that mean? They're gonna do a lot of damage. They're sharp. Sharp arrows do a lot more damage than blunted arrows, and shall not miss. All right, one of the first classes I taught on the channel is about how Russia has missiles and weapons of warfare that cannot be shot down. Right, it says, "Shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." You can't shoot an arrow from one side of the world all the way to the other. What is this? This is nukes. This is missiles. This is that biblical world war that it's been talking about, right? Look at this. Let me see. Faith boosters, right? Let's get some more RT articles. Look at this. Russia sends hypersonic missiles to Syria. Now, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? It says Russia long-range, whatever that is, interceptors, and whatever that is, too, strategic bombers carrying hypersonic Kinzhal missiles. Right? It's for a massive exercise in Moscow, which is Magog, right? We see all these things. We see all these things playing out exactly how the scriptures talk about, man. About how Russia, which is Gog, or really Vladimir Putin, whoever's the king over there in Russia, right? Currently, Vladimir Putin. That's Gog right now. Currently, right? We see all these scriptures playing out. We see about how America's not gonna put boots on the ground. It's gonna be a different type of war. We see Russia sending over missiles as far as an exercise, right? Just like how these arrows are going to be shot from the ends of the earth. All these things go with prophecy, and this builds my faith. This makes me really want to go harder, and have hope and confidence in the Lord that He brings me out of my situation that I'm in currently. Because we see the Bible being played out. It's evident, right? Look at this. I got another one. Let me get this one. Get these links. Don't forget to like, share, and super chat, man. This is RT. China support for Russia alarming, says the United States. Look at this. Right. It says Washington is becoming increasingly concerned by China's moves to side with Moscow on security issues on the European continent. The Pentagon has warned amid weeks of a standoff across the border between Russia and Ukraine. Russia's being backed by China as a result of what prophecy? The brick, the carpenters. That's in Zechariah chapter 1. We see that because look at this. Right, you can do some faith boosters real quick. Look at this, right? It said, the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then I said, what do these come to do? What do these come to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah. What are those horns? Britannia, or the Great Britain, right? America, Spain, and France. Contextually, if you know this breakdown. Now it says, so that no man lift up his head, because but these are come to fray them. Who is these? The carpenters, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lift up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter. Right, these 4 horns put us into captivity. Now look at this. Look at these carpenters. The word for carpenters, right? It's karash. Right, it means craftsman, artisan, graver, engraver, artificer, skillful to destroy, warriors figuratively. Now look at this, right? These people are going to destroy these horns. Now look at this. Let's go and see where that word is also used. Isaiah 54:16, right? Now, any Hebrew Israelite will agree with this. In Isaiah 54:16, this is talking about the smiths or the scientists who make these nuclear missiles, right? This is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. These are them scientists that created these nukes, right? He says he's created the smith. What is that smith? That's that artificer. That's that warrior, the skillful. Dang, I did it again. Skillful to destroy, right? That's who the smith is. It's the same thing as the carpenters, right? So what does that lead you to believe? That leads you to believe these carpenters are going to have the nuclear power to destroy the Western hemisphere. And what I mean by Western, really the Western powers. If you know the brick breakdown, which I'm not going to go all the way into because I don't have the time for it. But I will say this: going into the 4 carpenters. Let me get this. About brick countries. Let's see countries. What is bricks? Look at this. This is brick. These are countries. It's called the Big Four, right? It says BRIC is a grouping acronym which refers to countries of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. China's outright showing support for Russia. Right? These are the people. These are the carpenters, the people who are skillful to destroy, who have nuclear powers, who are going to destroy the four horns to bring us up out of this place. Right? It's deemed to be developing countries at a similar stage of newly advanced economic development on their way to becoming developed countries is typically rendered the BRIC, the BRIC countries, the BRIC economies, or alternative, the Big Four. These are them four carpenters who are gonna fray the horns. Who's gonna save us out of this place by what? Destroying this place. Because the destruction of this place is ultimately the salvation of us, and the salvation of us is ultimately us getting over on the curses. Because I hate the curses. That's what the whole reason me bringing this up is I hate the curses, bro. I hate what I'm going through currently. I hate what our people's going through, and I can't wait for these developing countries, right, to come together and fray these horns, right? That's why I found it great to see. That's why I found it great to see China showing support to Russia, right? Because the prophecy is getting closer and closer and closer and closer to being fulfilled. that just and I'm so that's something that gives me happiness. That's something that gives me stability in these times. Having this wisdom. That's what our scripture say: wisdom and understanding shall be stability of our times, man. So it's just stuff like this we got to be looking out for, man. Because like we see in part of the prophecies. Let me get this another precept. Actually, it'll say exactly what I'm saying, and I'm probably gonna end it off right there. Actually, look at this. This is 2 Ezra 6, 2 Ezra 9. My bad. And it says, and answered me then and said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. We see prophecies getting closer to being fulfilled. We see China out here like vocally showing support to Russia. Like usually when they do these deals, they do them behind closed doors, shaking hands, doing all this. But they out here for America and everybody else to see, NATO and all these people to see. Look, we supporting them, and guess who's going to support them? Brazil. And the other ones, they're all going to come together and fray these four horns, and it's gonna be ultimately for the salvation of Israel and the elect of Israel, man. So we can be brought back into our land, be brought under the rod of the covenant, get the new covenant, and get the blessings, bro. That's the better country. All this points to us going back to that better country, because this ain't it. America is not it. Like this place is not our rest. Why? Because it's polluted. This place will never be our rest, bro. It's built off pollution. It's maintained by pollution. It's going to continue into pollution until it's ultimately destroyed and dealt with, right? But we have to. I'm gonna go back to verse 1. And it says, "Measure thou." Oh, let me use the wrong mouse. It says, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." We see all these things happening. We see all these prophecies coming to pass. We see literally verbatim things happening from the Bible being played out in the news, which I've shown at least 3 witnesses on that. So it's things like that make me happy. Things like that make me it really increase my faith in the Bible, increase my faith in the Lord, increase my faith into what I'm doing, and to give me validity to know that what I'm doing is correct, right? My path in life that I chose is correct due to God showing me these signs and showing us these signs by giving us prophets, by giving us wisdom, by giving us something to believe in, giving us hope. Even though we're in captivity, the Lord left us hope in the form of his words through his prophets. And this is all we have to cling on, bro, because if we don't have this, we have nothing. And that's something that I realize, bro. If I don't have these scriptures, I have nothing but to be black and die. Like, that's all we have, man. But with that, I'm going to say, call all Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, and say Shalom. But wait, before I say Shalom, I'm going to plug this one more time, right? Sicarii Dallas is on Spotify now. So go ahead and follow us on there. I'm going to be dropping more stuff on there, stuff specifically for Spotify. And well, that's pretty much. Oh, and follow us on Facebook too. I'm going to start building that up as well. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom to Israel out there. And I pray y'all is edified.